Rob Van Dam, listen to True Hill Heat. Pow.
Hey guys, this is Thunder Rosa and welcome to True Heel Heat.
Alright, this is Danhausen here, very nice or evil. You are watching True Heel Heat. Probably should have had MJF do this, but here we are.
Welcome to True Heel Heat, the place where we use insider terms because we think we know what the fuck we're talking about, even though we don't. My name's Maxwell Jacob Friedman, and I'm better than you, and you know it.
I'm serious. I'm not going to sit back and take this fucking shit.
Oh, speak, bitch. Come on now. Oh my God, Siobhan. What the hell is wrong with you?
Hello, hello, hello. It is me, your True Heel Phenom, SP3. We are live on the True Heel Heat YouTube, Facebook, and Romeo's Twitter for AEWramble, episode 156, Blood, Guts, and Fire, reviewing the July 24th, 2024 edition of AEW Dynamite with Blood and Guts 2024. And of course, to do what we usually do here on a Thursday, 1:05 p.m. Eastern Time, I am joined by the man of 55,000 subscribers. You go to him for your TV and movie reviews, as well as your honest criticisms of Tony Khan and All Elite Wrestling, the one and only Jimmy Macram. How are you doing?
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, or lady and gentlemen. Good day. It's gonna be a good day. I feel it. Feel it in my bones.
I feel it too as well, good sir. It's going to be a good day when we're talking about some wrestling. Well, when I'm talking about some wrestling with you, I know it's not always the best when you have to watch the wrestling, but last night I thought it was a pretty good show. We're going to discuss that as well as anything else that comes up into Jimmy's mind or what comes up in the chat. We appreciate y'all for joining us live. We appreciate y'all for watching us on demand. Remember to show your appreciation back. The simplest way possible is by dropping the thumbs up on this video. You can also share this video with all your wrestling fans, friends, and family on all your favorite social media platforms. If you're new to the True Hill Heat YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell to stay notified for all the great content here. And of course, if you're watching us on Facebook, you could drop a thumbs up, a heart emoji, an angry emoji, a laughing emoji. However, AEW Dynamite made you feel. You go let us know with those emotes. You're watching on Twitter, drop the heart, retweet the video. It helps others like yourself see the content. And I think we got a run in already. She's a cucumber, apparently. She says she's a. What are you?
A cucumber.
Okay, you don't want to see. You don't want them to see your face. Cucumber.
It's a cucumber. It's a cucumber.
Thank you. Got our nice run in to start the show here. And yes, for Harlem, if you're in the live chat, you're joining us on YouTube, hit that $, send a super chat donation. Any dollar amount matters. It shows your support to the channel. It helps us grow oh so much. And most of all, it goes back to all the contributors that you see on screen with us here. Jimmy Macram got to get some new Yankee fitteds to complete his collection. And I need to feed some kids. So we always appreciate those super chat donations as always. We already got in the chat with us today, G Loke, who says, what it do? Smash up that like. Man, what the hell happened last night? LOL, please lay it on us in all caps. He's very excited. We got Eric Isaacs in the chat who says, hello, THH fam. Camille finally arrives. Chris and Willow's war continues. Tony returns, and RIP early, the elite. There we go.
There's a whole lot wrong with this, but first of all, Chris and Willow's war continues. It's not a war. If every time you fucking play each other, you get stomped out, this is not a war. It's just you showing up to get stomped out. I'm sorry. Chris
it's like the Knicks and Boston Celtics rivalry.
Yeah. You're a rivalry because you keep seeing each other, but not in actuality. Sorry.
Like the at least with the Yankees and the Red Sox can always hang their hat on the 3-0 comeback. That's it.
Boy, what a painful series.
Oh man, I would never forget that. Never. We also got Roxy in the chat who says, good morning, everyone. Good morning to you, Roxy. Haven't seen you in the chat in a while. We got Ace joining us today saying, what's up, SP3 and Jimmy. We also got Tyrone Kidd in the chat who says, hey guys, are you ready to die, SP3? Because I am. Yeah, that probably should have been if it wasn't for the big main event, that probably would have been the title of today's show. That lie.
Big main event. All right, we'll get into it.
I mean, the show is named after the main event of the show. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Acclaimed, the Bucks, Jack Perry, all these big stars. Absolutely. Let's continue.
We got Power Driver Finisher in the chat. It says, true Harlem Heat indeed. We also got Ace who says, where was the Acclaim during the Blood and Guts match? I definitely saw Anthony Bowens. Yes. Putting in that work in this matchup, man. I had my faith in him. I didn't have my faith in the Acclaim as a tag team, but I had my faith in him, and he delivered. We also got Alex Powell, who says all in shaping up nicely. We also got Tyrone Kidd, who delivers our first super chat donation. Thank you so much, Tyrone. We always appreciate the support.
Speak, bitch. Come on now. Oh my God, Shivani. What the hell is wrong with you?
The hell is wrong with you? Talking about that murder like that.
Tyrone says, who did it better, Liv or Stott? I mean, you mean showing off the cheeks? I mean,
listen. If you ask me, like on a every day, like vacuum, no nothing, I would say Statlander. But if you tell me to compare just shows, what we saw on this shows, this is not a real discussion. It's a Liv. It's not that close. Sorry.
Well, I mean, Liv got a whole segment, a 10-minute segment out in front of the crowd, and Stat only got a minute backstage.
She did a twirl. I gotta be honest. That's one of the first segment. I was like, "What the fuck is she wearing?" Oh my god! Good lord!
Oh man, we got a nice picture. Check out Rated Raw review where I kept putting up the picture of her saying, "Dom likes girls like me."
This bitch is awful. I love her.
Oh man, you got problems, but I enjoy it. Says, my favorite line was a non-convincing Marvez going when Ospreay drove away.
Why?
I was like, why did they ask him to do that? Like, why are you asking him if he drove in the U.S. when you literally just saw his car?
What are we doing?
It was so bad. It was hilarious. I'm sorry. It was hilarious for me. Big Man Deli says that Marvez is meme worthy. It is.
Who's he related to? Who's he fucking friend with?
He must be Tony Khan's fan. He must be Tony Khan's fan at this
Gotta
point.
be. I think he survived all these cuts.
Well, is there anything else from Monday Night Raw or anything around the wrestling world you'd like to discuss? You got CM Punk is restructuring his deal with WWE, and apparently he has a master plan of eventually slowing down in the ring and eventually trying to take over and run NXT. You got Buddy Matthews confirmed to be re-signed with AEW. Meanwhile, Malachi Black and Keith Lee's contract with AEW seemingly have said that
Black's contract is up. Oh man, they just got better. The rest of the day could be shit, and this is awesome. Oh my god, I saw Keith Lee. I was like, oh yeah, I'm so happy.
Yeah,
Malachi Black.
Huh? I mean, that's the last guy who left AEW and went to WWE.
Yeah. Then he was on WrestleMania, featured on fucking pay-per-view after that, and then he fucking beat Carmelo on SmackDown.
It was a really good match. I enjoyed it.
Right. So keep your fucking your hateration to yourself, if you don't mind.
I'm not hating.
Ruin my mood already. Trying to ruin my mood already. I just got the mood right. He's trying to bring it down. He said that
what is wrong with being the speed champion?
This is why he tried to pull that horseshit a week ago. Huh? WWE fans are worse. But see this? You see how he's trying to bring me down? He ain't doing anything.
Oh my word!
Trying to bring my mood down. They're all awful, and I've said it from the beginning. I'm not giving AEW fans a pass over here. We don't do that. They're awful people.
I'm not an AEW fan.
Call it what you want, sir.
I merely said he was going to be a speed champion.
Yes. And a derogatory.
What's wrong with being a speed champion?
We know how you mean it.
Andrade's the longest reigning speed champion in the title's history.
This means something to somebody who watches Speed. I don't.
Why don't you watch Speed? You're a WWE fan. Come on.
If I start watching wrestling for 10 years, I can do without watching fucking Speed. What I want to talk about? But we got to start with Friday. And more importantly than anything else, Triple H, I know you're watching. Who had the highest rated segment on SmackDown, sir? It wasn't Cody Rhodes. It wasn't the Bloodline.
What was the best segment on SmackDown?
You goddamn right.
The best segment on SmackDown was LA Knight and Logan Paul.
Even with his hands tied behind his back, he still put up a fight. He lost, but he still put up a fight. Come on, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. Put the belt on him. Don't you cave now. You put the fucking belt on him, sir. I don't care that it's Logan's hometown. Nobody cares.
Well, I don't think SummerSlam is big enough. I want to save it for a bigger show. You know how we do with Braun Breaker.
Oh my gosh, don't do this to me. Please don't do this to me. I don't ask you.
Hey, Braun, you can get what? I don't know if they're gonna. This would be like the perfect Jimmy pay-per-view PLE for SummerSlam if Gunther beats Damian Priest for the World Heavyweight Championship.
Oh.
Braun Breaker beats Sami Zayn for the Intercontinental Championship. And LA Knight beats Logan Paul for the the U.S. Championship. I think I would have to invite you on the SummerSlam review on the channel.
Feel free. I'll show up for the couple of segments. Yeah, the highest rated segment of SmackDown. Those was it close? It wasn't particularly close. So that happened. On Raw, what happened on Raw? Punk is cleared. I don't really care about the NXT plans. That feels very much like sabotage to me. Who's talking out of school? Who's talking out of school when they know the inside workings of CM Punk's brand? They still stitching.
I think it was Evo of WrestlePeris was the first to report it, and then I think it was confirmed by like PW Insider, and WrestleVotes just reported that they confirmed that he's restructuring his deal. He still has until I think PW Insider reported that he still has until 2026 for the current deal, but they want to restructure it for a longer deal because he's been such a success on like TV ratings as well as social media views.
Such a success on TV ratings. Speaking of which, I really miss Collision. I ain't gonna lie to you. I just randomly did it. I watched some clips the other day of Ricky Starks doing that fake interest where he came out and said, pretend you didn't see that, and he goes back.
I saw the firework one. When he had like 1,000 fireworks, that was great.
Man, I miss that show so much. I saw it was who was on the show this week? Was that Hologram or Axiom or
Hologram was good. Was fun.
It was a fuck. Who? Stop it! Don't do that, Skip. Don't do that.
How am I Skip? You're the one that's yelling and stuff. You're Skip Bayless.
Don't do it. But no. I listen. That's what he wants to do with his life. Fucking become a coach or whatever you call it NXT. Sure. Save wrestling from goofy ass Jack Perry's of the world before they become Jack Perry. I appreciate it. That's a good idea, actually. Just keep your hands to yourself because it won't fucking work out if you don't. Sorry.
Yeah.
I will not put up with that shit.
Yeah, they won't. They won't. Sean literally like, get your boy. Come get your boy. Come get your boy, Triple H. Why is your boy trying to steal my job? Why he can't come after your job? He got an issue with you, but he trying to steal my job.
I'm still trying to get a promotion to run fucking Raw or SmackDown or whatever.
I can see that. I wouldn't mind that. That would be like Triple H seeing the era of Vince's ways. Vince should have probably gave Triple H one of the main roster shows, so he wasn't doing everything. You know.
Yes. And one of these fucking shows are clearly suffering. I mean, SmackDown has less stars, but it also it feels bland. Those other matches, man.
But I don't know. I think SmackDown's gonna have like a power struggle behind the scenes when Roman comes back, because you like two alphas on a 2-hour show with him and Cody.
I saw this terrible take already. What? 2 alphas on the show? They're not 2 alphas on this fucking show. This is not a fucking.
It's Roman.
Fucking 2 alphas on the show.
He's clearly number 2.
Stone Cold or Kane. What? Nigga, this is not a discussion. This is my show now. Sorry. Yeah. And they'll be fine. They'll be written. I have no issue. Everybody else will suffer. The LA Knights of the world will suffer. Fucking Cody and Roman will be fine.
I can say that. But they also a good point that I think Sean Rossat made on the Fightful, one of the Fightful post shows. He said that Roman is technically a free agent in kayfabe because he wasn't a part of the WWE draft, so he could go to Raw or SmackDown.
I was actually thinking about that. Especially still coming up. I could see Roman going to Raw, especially with fucking Jay and Samuel.
Yeah.
They win the tag titles, right? Once Sammy loses.
Good, because Sami Zayn is he's one of the best tag team wrestlers they got on the whole entire roster. Like, he knows how to structure them. He gets the most reaction possible. That main event was a lot of fun. This was the first time in weeks that Raw had more than one really good matchup on the show.
That's true. I thought it was really well laid out, mostly. They seem to have given up on putting big stars in the final hour. Like they did Punk in that fucking final hour for his comeback, and they've never done anything like that again. By the way, highest rated segment of the night, obvious. It's Punk and Seth and Drew. But Liv and Rhea wasn't far behind. I'm telling.
It's a draw. It's a draw. The two hottest. I said it on our Raw review this week. I said the two hottest angles going into SummerSlam is Liv, Dom, and Rhea, and Punk, Seth, and Drew.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I could watch Jericho too.
Yes, I agree with that. And I mean they did a good job with the Gunther and Damian Priest segment too. That was a lot.
Damian has never been more over in his fucking life. You're welcome. Sorry, just had to call you a bum. You're a bum.
He's the bum.
I just believe him when he talks. It helps because you feel like nobody can actually beat him up.
Fair. We got a super chat donation from our good brother Chuck Berries, The Rock to Will Chisholm.
Thank you.
Steve Austin in the chat. We appreciate you. He says instead of story time with Adam Cole, baby, he says, how about story time with SP3 and Harlow?
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, I'll agree it. Hey, she always says she wants to whenever she's just with me, my wife. It's like, okay, cool. Let's put on something from 2000. Like we watched Rock versus Triple H versus Kurt Angle from SummerSlam 2000 the other day.
Ooh, you got to watch see a real. Sorry, I watched that recently. It's hard. You should not be wrestling. Yo, I'm watching that. Like, my first thought was Triple H is a genius for keeping this match going together. He's running up to get Kurt Angle and pulling him back and shit. But you're kind of a psychopath. That man's not okay. Why are you not letting him leave? Let him leave, please. Poor bastard. Now he can't remember shit sometimes. Shocking. I'm flabbergasted. Kurt Angle's having memory problems.
Oh, we also should mention, we got here in the chat, Frantic World mentioning Bobby about to leave WWE, and so is MVP. What did you think about that news earlier in the week of Bobby Lashley leaving WWE when his contract expires very, very soon, and MVP already being off of the internal roster and already gave his farewell? And we got another run.
Hello.
Say hi, Jimmy.
Hi, Jimmy.
Oh my God, the accent's
I
great.
got
Hello.
Coke. I got Coke.
You got Coke? You gonna tell the people your Coke?
I got Coke.
All right, I'll see you in a bit.
You gotta do something about that. Ship her out of the country, sir.
Huh?
Ship her out of the country. Save your daughter.
She has a problem traveling anyway, so I don't know if we'll be able to leave when we are supposed to leave because she has problems, motion sickness. So she's gonna get the full on accent by the end of the summer. But yeah, what do you think about Lashley and MVP, and then the report from Dave Meltzer saying that they want to reunite Hurt Business with Shelton Benjamin, possibly in AEW?
If not AEW, where? I'm gonna go to TNA.
TNA. He would work well in NJPW, but I don't know about Hurt Business. Hurt Business is the type of group that I think needs to be on weekly TV.
Yeah, like I'll work in order. I am sad Lashley's leaving. He's not the star he once was, but he's still a relatively big deal. I feel like he and Edge, ironically, two spears, like guys on steroids. I'm not gonna say they've been wasted. No, I'm not gonna say that. I've been wasted. I don't think you have to make them the fucking centerpiece of your company. I mean, they're 45, 6, 7, but they clearly have some big match value in them. I'm not entirely sure why there's no middle ground. Why do we have to fight the final testament or the judgment day forever, or be off TV. There's no middle ground. We can't just figure something out for them. Lashley versus fucking anybody. Anybody?
Yeah, like I didn't like Triple H's handling of the Brock Lesnar Bobby Lashley rivalry. Like I felt like that was more. This was like in the same realm as like Austin Theory of things been started that Triple H didn't want to finish, and he was just like, I'd rather just wipe my hands of it instead of trying to make that good.
Yeah.
He was like, I revamped all these other guys. I got Kevin Owens back up to his peak potential. I got Seth Rollins back up to his peak potential, but Bobby Lashley. He had his run. He's old news. He's about to be 50. Edge is already 50.
Is he?
He's like, I'm good. I think Bobby is like what, 48? Someone can correct me in the chat.
Oh my god. Yeah, I don't get it. Now, granted, he just got hurt, which I would imagine is part of the point. But still, there's nothing you can do with Bobby Lashley. You can't do Lashley and LA Knight, or Lashley and fucking Andrade, or Lashley and fucking have Logan Paul beat him. What are we doing? I don't know.
I would at least like had someone go over. It looked like they were going towards Carmelo and him feuding before he got hurt.
I mean, fair enough. Sometimes things don't work out. I think he doesn't see value in old people, which is kind of fucked up. If I had to retire before 50, you do too. And they feel like they have more to offer. I'm not mad at that.
Yeah.
Feel free.
That's fair. That's fair. And like I said, I think MVP has gone out on record saying that he suggested they bring back Hurt Business. I think like when Triple H first got into creative, that he's just like, no, that's a Vince thing. I'm not doing it.
Yeah, this is weird. Weird thing of Vince. I'm not sure I'm a fan of it. Listen, you don't have to like the motherfucker. It's kind of awful, but not all of that is terrible. Who brought up Hurt Business? Is that Vince?
I think it was MVP and Bobby Lashley came up with the idea, and Vince just went with it.
Who broke him up? Vince?
Vince, definitely. Broke him up at the beginning of 2021 because he wanted to focus on Bobby Lashley as a single star.
Jesus. He's the leader of this fucking group. What do you mean? What? What? Oh my god!
It never made sense to me. It never made sense to me at all. Like I was like, don't you realize that the group is helping him feel like more of a top star?
It's so weird.
We got another super chat donation here from Chuck Berry. Thank you so much, Chuck Berry. We always appreciate you.
And I work with fuck.
His NXT catchphrase.
Chuck Berry's saying, do you guys see Bobby Lashley looking to join AEW? I think a better question is, or do we see him looking to join AEW, and what can he bring to AEW? I think that he can bring some star power, and there's no one that looks like Bobby Lashley in AEW currently.
Fucking sadly.
And the Hurt Business coming in and jumping Swerve, because Swerve is not about that life, would be
who apparently is like super black, like conspiracy theory black.
He don't fuck with Jericho because of it.
I'm about to say, I don't get along with them all the time, but they are fucking entertaining always. He's never gonna try. Will he get what he wants though, or will he be used like he was being used at the end of the WWE run? If Bobby Lashley comes in, where does he slot in? He's not had a Swerve, he's not had an Ospreay, he's not had MJF, he's not had a Dragon, he's not had Moxley. Like,
well, we don't know how long Dragon's going to be still around here. If you ask Jeff Jarrett, he's already got one foot out of the door. My God, let her know. Let her know. You got Wesley.
It's true. But in the matches.
But I will say, to give something that we don't always do here, Jimmy doesn't always do, give credit to Tony Khan. He's very good with people that have if he feels they have like a legendary status, whether it's Samoa Joe, like the people that he has a great deal of respect as legends, he's able to give them at least a good solid run, and he will treat them of some value to the company.
This is true. Lashley fit that bill.
I think so.
I think we did an all-time list. He'd be behind Edge. He'd be behind the Hardy Boys, certainly.
To be fair, I don't see Bobby Lashley getting a DUI, so I think he would be ahead. I'm sorry, because the Hardys run in AEW, I think would look significant. I'm just being fair.
Why do you get that? You're being?
I'm pointing out the obvious. Yes, you could say that, but I just want to point that out.
It's like it feels like an excuse. How long were they there after Jeff came back?
Oh, they were there. Well, Jeff comes back at the end of 2022, so they were there for like a year
and a half, and they did nothing. Why?
Yeah, because
a year and a half ago.
I feel like it's a case of Finn Balor with Vince McMahon, where Finn Balor, they gave him the big push coming out of NXT, and then he gets hurt in his first big matchup at SummerSlam 2016, and Vince never pushed him the same. I never pushed you like that.
Fair enough. Listen, I'm not going to advocate for a Hardy Boys push. I'm just saying, I don't know. I like Bobby. He's in incredible shape. Not just for his age, because in general, man's in incredible shape. I think he has a lot to add.
Me too. I do. I agree with you there. We also got in the chat, it is King. What? Big Man Dogs, it says Tony Khan doesn't think Bobby is a legend because he is a super heavyweight who isn't Goldberg. He's going to give him the push that Goldberg would have gotten if he would have shut up.
First of all, how about we do this? Goldberg was going to AEW. Fucking, it's too hurtful to his fucking ego.
Yeah.
His ego can't be saying shit, by the way. So he didn't have a fucking farewell run. You did, though.
And then you came back.
You did, though. Again. Yeah. He's never going to be happy. Sorry.
He's Hogan. He's Undertaker. They're in like special category. Hogan, Undertaker, Goldberg. These niggas who have great farewell runs, finish the farewell run, and then want to keep coming back.
Hey, I'm back. No, sir. We just did that thing. Yeah, he doesn't have a great Tony Khan have a great track record with people built body like Bobby Lashley. I'm sorry. MJF isn't saving their careers, and it's terrible. Warlow, Hobbs, well said. Nobody in the main event scene right now.
Sure, this is true. But let's get into AEW Dynamite Blood and Guts 2024. This show took place from Nashville, Tennessee. What did you think about the crowd last night in Nashville?
Pretty good, kind of weird. It's hard to explain. They were up mostly for everything. They weren't as loud for some parts I thought they would be. The Swerve's entrance music stink. People don't really pop for it. It's a weird thing. It's a weird when he's in the ring they cheer, but like for the song, it's so weird. Never mind, we'll get to it.
Certain places you get the Who's House, Swerve's house, but other places it is kind of like it's jarring. It's like, are y'all excited to see him or not? And then when he starts wrestling, they are. Like it's weird.
So weird.
AEW Dynamite comes on air with Alex Marvez. He's in the parking lot at the AEW hotel, and he's waiting for Will Ospreay, who shows up, and he's in a hurry to make it to the building, but he sees that his tire has been slashed.
Ospreay asks Marvez if he has the keys to his car, and he says, "Run that shit, homie." And he gets the keys. They get into the car. He has Marvez throw his bag into the back of the car, and he asks Marvez. Marvez asks Ospreay if he's ever driven in America, and Ospreay says no, and they speed away with Marvez saying, "Oh!" What did you think about this opening?
How'd your car get here if you didn't drive it? Since you've never driven in America before. As you know, I was excited by this angle because I thought this was going to be like a half show run narrative, and it was over in about 10 minutes. That's a shame. This is fine. It started off fun at the very least.
Yes, it was a nice change of pace type opening, something that we don't usually see from AEW. But when we go to the building, we got cheerleaders in attendance, bringing down the new AEW International Champion himself, MJF Maxwell Jacob Freeman. You can't. No. What are you doing? Relax. She wants to keep coming in here. Now my missus is telling her to get up. All right. What did she put? She put something in the door. All right. But Maxwell Jacob Freeman is here. AEW International Champion makes his way down to the ring. He throws his gum in the crowd. MJF gets on the mic and he says, Ospreay didn't hit the Tiger Driver because he's a coward. He says, just like he couldn't do it against Swerve Strickland. And he says, a reminder to Swerve Strickland that he hasn't forgotten about his AEW World Championship, and he's just waiting on the right time to pounce. But he focuses on his win from last week. He says when the spotlight is on MJF, he shines bright like a diamond, while Ospreay melts as he beat Ospreay without breaking a damn sweat. The most dominant victory of all time. MJF said that Ospreay should take a long walk off a short pier, and he brings up his grandmother passing away recently and how Ospreay could dig his grave a football field length away to give that skank enough room. I was like, Jesus Christ, Max. Jesus Christ. MJF invited Ospreay to the ring knowing that he wasn't there, and MJF called the fans treasonous for only liking what the international title, when the international title was held by a foreign town. MJF said the international title is now garbage, and he throws it into a trash can. MJF says that he deserves a title that symbolizes the best wrestler and the best country in the world, not the third world nation like the United Kingdom. MJF then reveals the AEW American. Come on, what are y'all doing? Started chanting USA, which MJF quickly cuts off, saying that he's not talking about nasty ass Nashville, but the most magical place in the world, Plainview, Long Island, New York. MJF says, God bless the USA. God bless the American champion, your American hero, Maxwell Jacob Freeman, and you can all thank me later. Streamers and patriotic from the Raptors with MJF's face as the stars. This was hilarious. It's like MAGA JF out here. This leads to Will Ospreay sprinting to the ring. MJF gets on the mic and he says at minute 59 of their matchup last week, and MJF beat Ospreay. So MJF reached in his trunks, passed his little old dick, acknowledging that Ospreay was on his level. MJF said that he didn't cheat,
as Ospreay said he had a meeting with Tony Khan earlier today, and he's got his rematch for the AEW International Championship on Sunday, August, Wembley Stadium in London, England, at AEW All In on home soil. Ospreay then gets off the mic. He grabs the International Championship from the trash can and brings it with him. And that was it. The match is official. AEW International Championship up for grabs. It will be Will Ospreay versus MJF 2 coming out at All In. I really enjoyed this opening segment. MJF is very entertaining when he's in his ultimate asshole, ultimate braggadocious style character. He leaned a little too much, maybe a little too much, or just enough. Christian Cage with the dead grandmother line. That was enough to start a feud of its own. Than everything that's happened between these two guys already. But I feel like maybe Ospreay can respond to that next week, or more directly. Maybe he didn't hear him say all of that, but we need Ospreay to kind of respond to him mentioning his passed away grandmother and how he will use that as motivation for him at All In. But I like Ospreay being fired up here, so this was a good segment for me. What did you think?
Christian MJF already had like a mini fucking subliminal squabble. When they had MJF said, "Pay all your XWB guys because he makes moments," and etc. I'm only mad they started feuding. I'm here for it. I'm not sure how you do that. The two most people in the company. What? I would be here for it. I will say this. We did our top 10 promo, guys. We had a few like current guys in it. Punk, Kingston, MJF. I'm taking MJF off. Listen.
Wow.
He's still great, but he's going from an A+ to an A. We've seen his babyface stuff. I'm unimpressed. And now he's back being a heel. And it's kind of just more of the same, is it not? Or Austin, or Foley, or Flair. That's all I'm saying. That's all. Still great. Still the best talent in the business, not named Roman Reigns. No disrespect. I'm just saying. As for the segment was good.
Those guys are basically like, I would say Rock is like A+ as a heel or a babyface. Flair was like an A+ as a heel, more of like an A- sometimes as a babyface
right.
to me. He relies on the woos. Yeah, but I agree that MJF is an A+ as a heel on the mic, in my opinion. But as a babyface, he was like a B+ at his best.
At his very best. This segment was, sheep heat galore, but I gotta be honest, I enjoyed most of it. I was friend of what mentioned it earlier, and he is 100% correct. You know me so very well. I thought for sure we were getting rid of this fucking belt. I was like, let's go. Let's go. And just changed it. It's the exact same shape, same colors. I'm so annoyed. But hey, it does look.
It's a great. The belts. It's a great stick because Ospreay did that in New Japan. He was the IWGP United States champion, and he made it into the United Kingdom championship. And MJF is just doing the same thing in AEW. You had the international championship. I'm going to make it into the American championship right before I go to your home soil. No, he didn't.
This loser trivia you've given us here.
So I'm a loser now because I know New Japan.
You see this?
All right.
You see this? He takes things to say he fucking jumps out the window. I said loser trivia.
I'm just saying. I'm the one that gave you that fact in your clip.
I appreciate it, but without fucking knowing it, it's just loser trivia. Without kind of saying that this is part of the thing, or MJF saying this is what he's doing, it's just it's an Easter egg for everybody who watched the fucking MCU films. It just is. Sorry, he was in the other one. All right, well, congratulations. Just trying to watch Wolverine cut up shit.
Hey, those Easter egg videos get a lot of views.
This is all well and good. It was ridiculous, and the MAGA's a good word for it. But hey,
MAGA JF.
Yeah. A lot of people are not pleased with MJF. He's actual racist now. He fucking spit on a couple black kids or something. I don't know what he did, but he did something.
He threw an alcoholic drink on a black kid.
I don't know if it's all one big coincidence or he's doing it to get people to talk. Oh, just doing some black people. So. Tony's a name. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't set Tony for failure like that. Don't do that. See that? Setting her up for fucking failure. And hey, boss.
I was waiting for you.
Flair, Foley, Piper, Austin, Rock. What are you talking? What? And A plus. God, yeah. Doing so well. I kept my fucking decimal level relatively low.
You did. He just made you snap.
Tony Storm.
King Potato says MJF calling that little girl that punched him a terrorist is so damn funny. In a recent interview, he says
should say it on TV.
He should have been like, you only lasted that long because you had that little girl's help.
Still my favorite part of that fucking. That's so good.
Oh man. Yeah, I enjoyed this. This was a nice little opening segment, and I expect, because this got a good reaction from the Nashville crowd, I expect this to get huge heat and yeah.
Really? So you guys didn't give a fuck when it was Cody and what's his face? What's his name? A go. Now all of a sudden you care about this fucking goofy country shit?
Because in the UK, they're playing it the right way.
Fair enough. We'll see.
I think MJF is the right heel to go against Ospreay at Wembley Stadium. But we got a lot of other questions in regards to like what's gonna happen with Garcia. Is Garcia gonna get the match with MJF at All Out? Is Pac gonna get his international championship matchup before Allin, or does he have to wait till after Allin? His whole thing has been about him getting his Wembley moment. So I don't know. We'll have to see.
This is why you don't give Ric Flair or Triple H the fucking Intercontinental Championship, because when they're fighting Kane or Eddie Guerrero, yeah, it's great, but eventually he got to go down to Intercontinental Championship match level to fight somebody. The fuck are we doing?
We're saying Pac is at the Intercontinental Championship level.
Are we saying he's not? I thought that was
I'm saying that he can be a main eventer. Pac.
He's 56 years old. It's over.
Get up! Stop!
It's done.
We're not aging people by freaking 20 years. Like, what are you?
Fans have been saying Pac could be a main eventer since he was in the fucking cruiserweight, whatever the fuck. It's over. It's done. Listen to me. It's over.
That was 7 years ago.
7 years ago. Come on.
We go backstage to Bryce Remsburg, who walks into a room to do the coin flip with the Elite for the man advantage in Blood and Guts. And we see that the Elite have laid out Christopher Daniels. Should have done that weeks ago. Matthew Jackson then says that he has his own coin for the coin flip, and Bryce Remsburg is at his wit's end seeing what happened to Christopher Daniels. He just says, all right, go ahead. And he realizes he has no choice, so he just goes with it. Jackson says, look at that. It's Team Elite. They officially get the advantage. And then we have Jack Perry, who's wondering where Hangman Adam Page is at. And Matthew assures them that he'll be there for them tonight. They have a deal. And then he also shows the camera that the coin is double-sided. So they cheated to get the man advantage.
Tony Khan not there tonight?
Tony Khan has got his hands tied. His hands are tied.
By what? See, this is what I'm saying. We've already established this. They did a great, I would say great job strong. They did a good job of establishing the rules early. Because they fucking beat the shit out of Tony Khan, Their contracts are ironclad, which means they can't be fired. And when Tony Khan's not here, we're running the show. All that shit has gone out the window ever since he came back. What the fuck are we doing? I'm so very annoyed.
Well, his avatar was down, so that means that Tony Khan's power is within the avatar. So hands are tied.
Oh, can we clean this shit up, please? I don't ask for much. What's Peppermint doing? I'm fucking hanging out with Sasha and clean this shit up.
Impact is 37, Jimmy.
What did I say? 56?
You said 56.
Same thing in wrestling terms.
What?
Same exact thing.
No, not when you're
56.
Not when you are one of the biggest fans of 42-year-old LA Knight.
LA Knight's getting pushed. When does his name get pushed? Rock never gets pushed. Let it go. It's over. Let's move on.
Oh, well, we had our opening contest up next. It was Chris Jericho defending the FTW Championship against Minoru Suzuki. And if you like chops, this was the match for you. We had a hard-hitting clash between Minoru Suzuki and Chris Jericho that featured about 5 straight minutes of straight-up chops. This reminded me a lot of Jericho's matchup with Tomohiro Ishii from 2022, in which they just chopped the hell out of each other so long that Jericho's chest bled. And once again, Jericho's chest was about to bleed. This man either has the most bruisable and bleedable chest ever, or Suzuki basically ripped his skin off because, damn, he was like leaking. He looked like he got hit by a bus at one point when his chest was just pouring down blood. Jericho finally collapsed. We get a kick to the stomach about 6 minutes into this matchup, with the fans start booing and they say "chop forever." When things return from break, Jericho, who is pouring blood from his chest, was first to throw a boot and a lariat. He tried for a springboard clothesline, but Suzuki just hit him with another chop and grabbed an armbar. Much to the delight of Taz on commentary, Suzuki then smacked Jericho repeatedly with chairs, even trapping his hand of Jericho between one and smashing it with another. Suzuki then snapped at Jericho's fingers in the ring, looking for an armbar, wrenching back. As Jericho rolled through and raked the eyes, he hit a code breaker, but Suzuki was able to kick out at one. We get some chops turned to forearms as Suzuki did the misdirect into the rear naked choke, but Jericho sweeps the legs out. He locks on the walls of Jericho. Suzuki is able to escape. They repeat the sequence as Suzuki keeps going for the Gotch style power driver, but Jericho is able to escape twice. He eventually hits a low blow, followed by the Judas effect to finally get the 1, 2, 3 in this one. This one went about 11 minutes. I thought it was a hard-hitting matchup, and I don't know. I think it's because Jericho just getting the hell beat out of him. It entertained me. It entertained me a lot more than I know it entertained Jimmy here. Post-match, Jericho was posing with the FTW Championship, only to get locked back into the rear naked choke. He gets hit with the Gotch-style power driver by Minoru Suzuki before the rest of the learning tree, Brian Keith and Big Bill, hit the ring. They are no longer banned from ringside, so they could attack Suzuki now. But this brings out Katsuyori Shibata, who makes his return. He sneaks up behind the learning tree. He low bridges Bill outside, hits the kitchen sink on Keith. Jericho escapes up the ramp as Shibata and Suzuki are left in the ring to stare down with each other. The former rivals now staring down with one another as Shibata helps out Suzuki against the learning tree here. What did you think about this opener to the show?
First of all, this shit went 14 minutes. Don't jit me. Long ass.
Well, we only saw 11 minutes of it. I only timed the minutes I saw. Sorry.
Stunk. It's fucking 2 old niggas moving in slow motion. What are we doing? The chops are fun. But listen, I got over it at the 3-minute mark. This is over. What are we doing? What are we doing? Can we go back to MJF, please? We're going to have 14 more minutes of MJF shitting on dead grandmothers. This stinks. I'm sorry. Not against Chris Jericho. Well, no, a lot against Chris Jericho. Not against Suzuki, but it is what it is. Sorry. Fucking yawn.
Also got Annika who says I like murder grandpa. We got Power Driver Finisher who says Miro, take notes. This is how big beefy men slap meat and how you show up to work. I ain't fucking sorry.
These are not big beefy men. That's not meat, sir. That's just skin. It's fucking old skin.
Jericho is not what I would call a big beefy man.
Yeah, Suzuki's skinnier than he is. What are you even talking about? Man, shut up.
We got Annika who says Grandpa slapped Jericho's nipple off. It didn't look like he got like skin peeled off of his fucking skin with the way he was bleeding from the chest.
I want to respect the violence. I just can't. I just can't. I just cannot.
We also got Frantic World who says, will Jimmy take a chop from Suzuki?
I'm not entirely sure what that has to do with anything, but sure.
Yeah. A says, I missed this match, which I'm glad, but I don't miss the post-match. There you go.
What the fuck was the post? All right. Shibata shows up. And then he saves the day with a couple of the most bland moves I've ever seen. A kitchen sink. And what was the other one? I was just like, what
a low bridge. A low bridge.
What kind of a save is this? I feel bad. He's clearly not what he once was. I ain't gonna lie to you.
No.
I should say.
Backstage, though, we see Renee Paquette trying to get a word with CMLL Women's World Champion Willow Nightingale. But before she's able to talk, Stokely Hathaway interrupts. He distracts her long enough for Chris Statlander to blindside her. Chris hits an F5 onto a loaded box, and Hathaway then gets in front of the camera and says, how about Nightingale face Statlander in a title eliminator next week for the CMLL Women's title, and they'll wait for her answer when she wakes up. And Willow was making some noises that I'm sure Jimmy was hot and bothered about. He was like Okada in that. Oh, so hot, so hot.
I mean,
what did you do?
She had a tan because she was in Mexico, I guess. She was fucking fantastic. Wait, what happened? All right.
Cheeklander as Stokely. Stokely called Statlander Cheeklander with those pants.
Yes, that was really good. This is where we get into the issue of suspending your disbelief. Why wouldn't they just ask for a title match?
True.
I'll tell you why. Because fucking Statlander has to win this fucking match.
Yes. Because Lord. you can't get a title shot after you just lost to the person. Like before they won the title. It would make more sense if Statlander had won in the Owen, and then she can just ask for a title shot out.
I don't know why they didn't do that. I'm so annoyed.
Especially for Willow to lose in the finals. Like,
what are you doing? Whatever. What's neither here nor there.
I guess that was supposed to be like a red herring, the fact that Mariah May was facing a babyface that she was going to turn on Tony. It should have been a red herring for us that Willow was the choice instead of Chris.
Stanley has a real beef here about the way she's been booked since her heel turn. I ain't pleased.
Yeah, everything from the timing of the heel turn that they did it after Willow and Mercedes had a great match, and then after Mercedes gets her celebration winning the TBS championship, and you just dirtied my shirt. What did you have on your hand? Oh, you got strawberry on your hands. Show the people. All right, tell the people to super chat so you can get more strawberries. Yeah. Thanks for dirtying my shirt. I appreciate that. All right,
it's like
my
the greatest version of birth control I've ever seen. Just having kids in, having fuck shit up. Wear a condom, kids. Pull out.
Will you stop? Best thing that ever happened to me.
Absolutely.
Best thing. Fuck you, sir. Renee Paquette was interviewing Brian Danielson. What's wrong? Why do you come in with dirtier hands each time? Go wash your hands. Renee Burkett was interviewing Bryan Danielson backstage earlier today, as he said that the doctor said for the moment his neck is fixable. If something happens, he just wants to enjoy the moment. However, Jeff Jarrett was overhearing, and he interrupts to say that he was crushed that he didn't win the Owen Hart Cup men's tournament, but Danielson, he really feels, was the perfect person to win it and fulfill his destiny at Wembley Stadium for the AEW World Championship at All In. Jarrett said that Swerve Strickland, though, knows exactly what he needs to do in order to retain the title. Jarrett says that Danielson can't have 1 foot out of the door already. You're talking about finishing up your in-ring career. You're talking about how your contract's about to expire. If he's going to go all in, then go all in, as a lot of people believe in him. Jarrett being at the very top of that list. Paquette asks if that sits with him, and Daniel says it's true. He's got a lot of work to do. This was a great pep talk. We both were in agreement watching this live that old man, elder statesman Jeff Jarrett, it just works. It's crazy that this guy was carny ass heel Jeff Jarrett for a year, but this is his most effective character work ever since the Owen Hart Cup started.
Oh, definitely. He's got a podcast. He always comes across like a good dude, like a knowledgeable kind of guy. He did so here too. I bought it completely. Now this is wrestling. Could be something fun happening afterwards. Maybe Dragon gets a fucking guitar beside his head. But for the moment, this was really good. He has great vibes. I bought it.
I think if we get more of this with him giving like him pep talks or even like being in his corner, I could see this kind of. I think that Danielson is just like one really great promo away from me really being invested in his trying to get one last title reign before he ends his full-time career. Because right now, especially after last night's main event, I'm like, why didn't Hangman win this tournament?
This is true. Maybe they're saving that for fucking what's the pay-per-view after All Out? Is that Wrestle Dream?
Wrestle Dream, yeah.
Maybe.
Because that's in Washington.
Yeah, and Swerve's super over because he's from there. The very racist state of Washington.
And that's 1 year from their first meeting last year at Wrestle Dream. I'm sorry I said it. He always gets mad at me for knowing stuff. Why did you get mad at me for knowing stuff?
I'm not mad at you for knowing it. I'm mad at you for saying it. There's a difference. This is irrelevant information.
It is not irrelevant.
You know what we're going to do? We're not going to have Austin win the belt of WrestleMania 14. We're not going to do that. Because we wait 3 months. It's 2 years since the King of the Ring speech. And then we can do the... No. It's irrelevant. It's irrelevant information. Sorry.
He really gets mad at me for knowing things and saying it. We got Jantic World who says Double J has been doing really good. We also got Annika who says Jeff looks like a backstage coach. Cool. Yes, I like Jarrett. I like Jarrett, just giving him the wisdom. And he's absolutely right. Brian has been talking about like he's 1 foot out of the door. Like he's like, I'm talking more about getting ready to finish up my in-ring career, and then I'm talking about getting a shot at the AEW World Title at the biggest show of the year.
I hate to be a sizist. Is Jeff Jarrett big enough for Daniels? Pause.
I mean, yeah.
He gives off more of that vibe. I think that, like Power Finisher said, he gives off more of that vibe that they're trying to go for with Christopher Daniels. Jeff Jarrett feels like somebody who's in charge. He feels like somebody important.
I would have preferred him to be the authority figure, like Power Finisher said.
It works for me.
I agree.
Next up, we had the in-ring return of Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, going one-on-one with her longtime rival, the woman that she beat to become the AEW Women's World Champion, Hikaru Shida, after a challenge from Shida on Collision here. This is Britt's first match back since September 16th last year on Collision. After an early scramble, we get Baker tried for the lockjaw, but Shida escaped into a stalemate. Both women started slugging it out with one another at ringside to dueling chants as Shida delivered 10 punches against the guardrail. Baker was draped across the apron, and Shida hit a nice-looking running knee lift to the face. It was all Shida during the commercial break, who teased doing the same dive that ultimately broke Sky Blue's ankle last week on Collision, but Baker was able to avoid it, hitting a spinning neck breaker and a sling blade. Baker put on the glove looking for the lockjaw, but took too long to follow up as Shida was able to hit a German suplex and then a regular suplex into a guillotine. Shida released and missed a dive, but avoided a Baker rolling elbow. She hit a headbutt that dropped both women to the floor or to the mat. Both ladies traded close near falls. They were going back and forth with high stacks and jackknife covers before Shida tried for the Falcon Arrow, but Britt was able to spin out, wanting the lockjaw, but Shida was able to make it to the ropes. Shida was conflicted about whether to grab her kendo stick, but the delay allowed Baker to hit one of her rolling neck breakers for a 2 count. Shida hit the question mark kick into the Falcon Arrow, but Baker was able to dodge the katana. She finally applies the lockjaw, gets the glove with the hand of war glove into the mouth to get the submission victory here. I thought it was a solid showing by Dr. Britt Baker here, getting the win over the former 3-time AEW Women's World Champion. And then post-match, the music of Mercedes Moné hit to bring out the TBS and NJPW Strong Women's Champion. She interrupted the celebration, and Moné walked to the stage with her 2 titles. She's getting heavily booed by this Nashville crowd as she's wearing a cowboy hat, looking festive. She says that was an impressive victory. Moné says that she knows Baker wants a shot at her TBS title at Wembley Stadium, and she's here to give her the answer she's been waiting for. No. All of a sudden, while Baker is looking at Mercedes Moné, she is attacked from behind by former NWA Women's World Champion Camille. She's finally here. She's finally here, and PK watches the ramble because it's what I predicted from the start here. She's the heater for Mercedes Moné. She attacks Dr. Britt Baker from behind. She does a nice little torture rack, then spins around into a sit-out slam. As Moné comes to the ring and they raise each other's hands as they stood tall over the fallen body of Dr. Britt Baker here. This is a much-needed kind of addition to this Mercedes Moné heel act. I said for months now, if she's going to be a heel, she needed a heater. I said either Megan Bayne or Camille. Camille is the more kind of, she has more of an aura of a muscle, of a bodyguard type, of a Sid Diesel type, to Mercedes Moné's more cocky, more kind of extravagant character, and it works really well. And it sets up the natural story of Dr. Britt Baker now needs some backup. And I know he doesn't want me to say it because he doesn't want to bring up his hopes. My hope is that backup is Jamie Hayter at Allin. Jimmy, what did you think about this, the post-match, but also the Baker versus Shida match here?
Baker versus Shida. How do I say this nicely? I know Baker's been out for a while. How long's it been? A year?
Yeah.
So she's rusty. I think that's fair. I don't know where Shida's been. She's been MIA.
No, she's been on Collision the last couple of weeks.
So I said, MIA. Yeah, this was not. You ever seen Ace Ventura, the second one? Where
yes.
He goes, I forgot the guy's name. Greenwald, hit the lights. And then he starts rolling around on the ground without any fucking point to it. She did a lot of that in this match. Is that new? Where she's just everything she does, she transitions by rolling into something else, just not very fast. The fuck? I can't, like Swerve does that too, but Swerve is, I don't want to sound racist. Yeah, he's smooth. He's a fucking great athlete. Shida was moving in slow motion. Now, is that Baker's fault? Maybe. Is it Shida's fault? I don't know. Oh, you mean look good like the way she actually looked? She's very attractive. Yes. Good Lord. I'm sorry. That was on the rougher side. Holy shit. Yeah. So yeah, get rid of that. I know you think it's a big deal to beat Shida for some reason. I don't understand that logic at all. CM Punk is back. We gotta give him a former WWE champion. CM Punk versus The Miz. Absolutely. No disrespect. Sorry, Shida. I'm just saying. Yeah, it is what it is. It is what it is. Post-match is fun. I like Camille. By the time she showed up. How long's it been? 5 months? 6 months?
What?
Since she signed to AEW.
She signed in February. 5.
That's not
so
terrible.
5 months.
It's not terrible. So you never know it. Because I don't hear from the frantic worlds of the world. Like we heard about Jade every 12 seconds. I didn't hear about fucking Camille at all. It's weird. It's almost as if there's a bias going on here. I don't know. Well, we'll see. This is fun. This is a great bet. I wouldn't mind if she got some more heaters. Listen, I'm here for motherfuckers who are not doing nothing, having something to do. Now, this is not a like Megan Bain too. She can be with Sasha too. Who cares? I don't understand why we don't do this. This is not like a Destiny's Child thing.
So you think Mercedes should start her own stable?
No. See, that's what I wanted to become about. This is not a stable. It's not Destiny's Child. This is not even fucking Diana Ross and the Supremes. This is Chris Brown and whoever them niggas are on stage with him. That's what this is. This is Mercedes and a bunch of people. That's it. Not a stable. Don't even need a name. This is Mercedes and Entourage. That's it. That's all. I'm here for it. You're just here to get beat up.
Mercedes and a bunch of people.
Please, give him something to do.
Oh man, that's great. yes, Jacob. Every week. He says every week SP3 tries to manifest hater. Tony Khan watches the stream and pushes her return back another month out of spite.
I hope she's all right. I really do.
I do too. We got hopeful news from Fight to Select, Jacob. Come on, I'm not out the realm on here.
What did they even say? Oh, that she's hanging around?
They said that she's been around. She's been around, and they've had pitches. They've had pitches for return matches for her. So we do have a super chat donation once again from Chuck Berries. Thank you so much, Chuck Berries. We always appreciate you.
Listen up, you prick.
Chuck Berry says, "Whoa, so much for my idea of Tamina Snuka becoming Mercedes security heavy. This new chick fits that role by her look alone, in my opinion. Yeah, she just looks like if you've never seen her before, much of this crowd seemed like they'd never seen her before. She has that great look. This was very, but this is why I made the natural connection that Britt used to bring back Jamie. This was very akin to Jamie Hayter's introduction into AEW as Britt's heat, because she didn't get it's right.
And she came in a black fucking hoodie or something, some type of outfit which hides her beauty and hides her body. What a brilliant booking idea. That's not the point. The point is, yes, I see the connection. No, Tamika, come on too. I'm thinking like 4 women, Mercedes and 4 gigantic motherfuckers. That's all.
King Potato says kind of like Jade and the Baddies, because I can dig that.
Yes, except it's instead of Jade and the Baddies, they're just called Jade.
That's Jade. Just Jade. That's the just Jade. Yes, I agree, Louisville. Yeah, put the Renegade twins with Mercedes so they can eat pins for her. That's what. Yeah, like Camille, you kind of want to protect as the bodyguard, kind of like Diesel with Shawn Michaels, but just throw a couple more ladies in there with them to just eat the pins for both of them.
Yes, you need a Tongaloa. You need a Tama Tonga. Can't have Jacob lose.
Yo, did you see that shit for SmackDown? I did not even notice it when they showed the graphic for the Gauntlet match on SmackDown this week. That they replaced Tonga Loa's not teaming up with Tama Tonga. They literally replaced him with Jacob Fatu.
Oh shit!
The whole point was that Tama Tonga Loa cannot do singles matches. You want to keep him with his brother because they're a good tag team. Nope. They said no. Jacob Fatu.
Oh my! Props to you, sir. How'd you get this contract? Slipped through the cracks, huh? I'm not mad.
Yeah.
I feel like nigga Triple H watched everything. He apparently never watched Tonga Loa in his life. He just saw he was Samoan.
He saw his debut and he saw the low blows and he was like, you know what? Jacob Fatu. What do y'all think about teaming up? What do y'all think about that?
Sitting there like, that's just hilarious. Just sitting there with his glasses on. Like, I think he sucks. Sorry, sir. I'm just saying.
I can't stop. This is hilarious. Oh, man. Next, we had the Patriarchy were backstage, and Christian Cage is holding all 3 trio championships. He says that Nick and Wayne will be in the Royal Rampage this Friday on Rampage to determine who gets the shot at the AEW World Title at Grand Slam. Wayne was about to cut a promo about the matchup when he spots Kip Sabian standing by, and he questions why he's always around. Wayne said that he knows Sabian is also in the Royal Rampage, and he's going to throw him out. And he told him that no one cares about Sabian's dead father and that he has to be a man and suck it up like he did. He's learning very well from his father.
Why is Kip Sabian getting TV time? Why is Nick Wayne getting TV time? Now I think about it. Kip Sabian in particular, listen, he's good. I don't want to be clear about this. He's another one of these people, I'm sorry, from a bygone era that we need to let go. The Joey Janela's. You need to put in
Ring of Honor.
Yes, like Joey Janela, Sunny Kiss, Darkwater, Sheeta, motherfuckers who just.
Oh, will you stop? Come on, Sheeta's good.
No. Yeah. She wasn't on fucking Dynamite, she wasn't. I'm going to flip, then I'm going to get up and we're going to flip it to this. No. Oh my God, that took 2 minutes, went nowhere. Oy. Rey Mysterio rolling over in his grave.
Rey Mysterio's not even dead. What are we doing? You're killing Rey Mysterio now?
Dean Malenko rolling over in his grave. This is Hayes.
Hey, Dean Malenko's not dead either. He did a nice little narration for Blood and Guts.
Boy. Sorry.
We had next up, our next matchup was Pat. He was in action going one-on-one with Boulder from the Iron Savages. Of course, this was a squash match. We get a quick quick headbutt by Pac. He tries a suplex, but Boulder didn't budge. So Pac floats over. He hits a pump kick. He charges, but Boulder ran through him and missed a corner moonsault. Pac then hit a shotgun drop kick and went after the legs. I'll see you in a bit. And Pac hits an impressive-looking brainbuster on the big man to get the 1-2-3 here. The commentary did talk about how Pac does have a guaranteed shot at the AEW International Championship. We just got to figure out when he's going to get that shot. When do you think, and what did you think about this Watchman? Made Pac look impressive, getting the big man up for the brainbuster.
Yeah, I guess. But shouldn't he know when he gets his title shot? Does he get to decide?
I think the Elite or Tony Khan, whoever's in charge.
It's the most unbuttoned up fucking organization maybe ever. Outside of the fucking network they're on. This is the most
WBD
ever.
Should also mention Amazon. Amazon looks like they're gonna get that, and then WBD looks like they're gonna try a lawsuit against NBA.
That's what all this is about, by the way. They put that fucking statement out the other day. It sounded snooty, did it not? We've been in promotion with them for years, and we put in a deal, and they knew that wasn't going to happen. They're trying to get some money. This is egregious. These motherfuckers are trying to get paid off. This is gross. Whatever.
But that news of them matching the bid, it gave me, as far as like the AEW and WBD negotiations, I know we've heard conflicting news throughout the weeks, but it makes me feel like they at least have an agreement in principle. It just hasn't been signed off on.
Why?
Because I think that they probably were like, after they seemingly lost the whole NBA rights, they probably was like, all right, let's seal this up and then we'll go back to it when we're done.
What do you not consider they don't give a fuck about this thing? That you can sign or not sign, it doesn't really matter. I'm not like, you think they really like, now that we got this NBA thing done, now we can really focus in on this thing that's worth 16th of the price?
I think they care about AEW.
You know, consider they like, we'd like to have you, but if you leave, like the fourth girl in rotation, like we'd like to have you around, but if you decide to leave.
Without the NBA, this is their top rated show.
Top rated show we have to pay for. And I can put on a shitty movie and get half the ratings for free because I already paid for it. I did see that. I did see that Sean Ross Sapp report, which I did find fucking hysterical. He's been hanging out with Dave Meltzer too long. He took like 4 paragraphs to say one thing. It was kind of hilarious. He goes, there's no deal yet. They're both hoping they can get a deal. They're gonna meet in France. They may not get a deal done in France. But what the fuck are you talking about? Just say there's no deal. What are you babbling about?
You gotta dot your I's. You gotta dot your I's, cross your T's.
No, Big Bang Theory gets like 200,000 people, but it's free. They already bought it. You just put that shit on for fucking 4 more.
Big man dogs. Don't get convinced by the grifters out there. No, Big Bang Theory does not get more
Don't do that,
views
Skip.
than AEW.
Don't do that, Skip.
It does not.
I just said that. It's what gives them their rating. That big rating in the beginning. It's the truth.
Oh yeah,
I like it.
Yeah,
that's all they say.
It does.
Why are you calling them grifters?
It helps their rating, but no, the grifters do make people commit. He's like, oh really? He didn't know that. He was legitimately asked the question. He wasn't trying to make a joke. He legitimately thinks that Big Bang Theory gets
I know.
than AEW Dynamite. That's not the case at all.
How is this Eric Bischoff's fault?
Because he really said that on air. He said that on his podcast. Yes.
I thought you didn't watch Eric Bischoff.
No, but I hear his nonsense. I see the clips on social media. I don't listen to him. Do you listen to Eric Bischoff?
I listen to everybody.
Do you listen?
I
you do. You listen
Uncle
to
Dave?
Eric
I listen to Eric Bischoff. I listen to fucking what's his face?
You listen to Uncle Dave?
Uncle Dave's partner? I ain't gonna lie to you. Mostly Uncle Dave's partner. Uncle Dave takes about 5 minutes to babble about nothing. Yeah. I watched that interview they did, him and Tony Khan. Even Tony Khan had to cut this nigga off. He was babbling for 3 minutes about one question. He couldn't even get the fucking question out. Tell me he had to cut him off. Jesus.
He admits it. See? This is why you're one of the real ones, big man. I might not always agree with you, but you admit it. Frantic Girl says WBD trying to get the NBA TV rights from Amazon. Yeah, right. Yeah, it's not going to happen.
That was a hustle.
Yeah.
I don't hustle when I see fucking scumbags.
Brian Alvarez, who didn't know what a cookout was. He's like, must be the local cookout that they have at the performance.
I haven't watched Disco. No offense, because I didn't. I'm gonna be rude. Eric Bischoff has seen success in this field, as has Uncle Dave, for that matter.
Yeah.
As has Cornette. Disco has not. I'm sorry, I just can't listen to you. I can't listen to you if you haven't really done anything. No disrespect. No disrespect.
You can't listen to Conan? Conan's done stuff. He's been successful in Mexico.
No. Sorry. It doesn't quite count. I'm like Trump. It doesn't count over there.
Conan's been having a good time with his cryptic tweets. What comes around, what goes around, comes around. Ever since the stuff he even cares, choosing WWE over AEW.
Oh my God!
What goes around comes around.
Why don't you ever tweet that? What if something happens to her now? You're suspect number one, stupid. Now look at you. Now look at you, you fucking idiot.
Oh my God.
Are people really upset about that, by the way?
What?
The way she left.
I know CMLL and New Japan were upset because she bailed out a couple of days before the show, but I haven't heard anything since that week.
Fair enough.
Team AEW is backstage as Swerve Strickland says the spirit of AEW is on the line tonight as these warriors are ready to get violent. Strickland says that he's the leader, but he's immediately cut off by Darby Allin, who says he's not his leader, as tonight is about getting even with the elite. It's not about Swerve's ego. Swerve says when this is all said and done, they could get violent with each other. Caster and Bowen said that they don't view Sneaky Swerve as their leader either. It's about getting even with the Young Bucks and getting the AEW World Tag Team titles. But the voice of reason is, of course, our main man chicken, Mark Briscoe, who interrupts and says the elite is about divide and conquer, which they can't let happen. Briscoe gets his team amped up. He gives them a motivational speech, as he always does with the conglomeration, and he does it here with Team AEW. I will always say, I say it week after week, every time he's on this show, I love Mark Briscoe. I don't think there's a more lovable babyface on this entire show or entire roster than Mark Briscoe.
Isn't it? I don't know how to say this nice. This is great, by the way. I'm sure you got more of this in the build-up, or at the very least in the show. Don't you always imagine Mark Briscoe's about to fucking fuck his promo up, and he never does?
Yes, he never does. He starts babbling. Like I legitimately don't think he knows what he's gonna say. I don't think this is all improv. It's all off the top of the dome. He's like Jay-Z in the booth. He's like, I'm gonna go in.
It's wild. This was great. I liked every bit of this. So far, every segment is hit for me except the matches.
I did like this a lot, and I agree with you. If we got more of this type of vibe with Team AEW in the lead up, we just would have been a much better build to this matchup and show. But next up, we get the glamour. Mariah May in action. And she immediately just looks like an absolute boss. The bell rings. She got a new entrance and her own theme song. The bell rings and she immediately explodes with a shotgun dropkick. She beats up, I think it's Caitlin Alexis is her opponent's name. She beats her up relentlessly in the corner. She then hits a missile dropkick. She then beats at her forehead like she did to Timeless Toni Storm. She kisses her on the forehead. She puts her in the corner, hits Sweet Cheeks music. She hits the Mayday, and then she puts her in the corner, hits Sweet Cheek music, and then she follows up with Storm Zero for the 1, 2, 3. She's celebrating, and then the music of Timeless Toni Storm hits. No Tony comes out. May acts shocked, but it looks like it was initially a ploy by her, but someone who looks like a stagehand pops up behind Mariah May and then rips off a mask, and it is revealed the return of Timeless Toni Storm. They immediately look at each other, and then they say, it's on. This brawl was fucking awesome. They just go at it full throttle with each other. It is swinging wild. We get referees and officials come out to separate the two. Timeless Toni Storm, the crowd is chanting, let them fight, let them fight. This was the most reaction, one of the biggest reactions outside of Blood and Guts of the whole entire night from this crowd here. Timeless Toni Storm gets on the microphone and she yells at May in the greatest, she's so angry, she's crying through her voice type of growl she gives. She's like, Mariah, are you prepared to die? Because I am. Oh my God. I was like, put this in my soul. This is the follow-up we needed for the heel turn. I will forgive them for the off week, last week. That was a misfire, but they definitely nailed this follow-up with Timeless Tony Storm coming back. You couldn't do this angle last week. You had to sell the effects of the beatdown from the week prior, but this was a great follow-up here. It was announced following the show. Timeless Tony Storm will be in action this Saturday at AEW Battle of the Belts in Eliminator matchup against Taya Valkyrie. So she'll be back in action this Saturday. But what did you think about Mariah May's squash win as well as Timeless Tony Storm's return and the pull-apart ball?
This is what's holding the deal up, by the way. This fucking Battle of the Belts. Enough. Tony, stop bringing it up. Fuck, you don't give a shit. Get the fuck out of here. The match is what it was. This feels like it's actually like a rib, right? You named it. It was a big deal. We're all hyped for it, and then fucking nothing with any of these fucking shows. Nothing. Not a single thing. Wait, the Cody and was that on the fucking Cody and Sammy on one of them shows?
No, that was Sammy and Dustin to determine the interim TNT champion was the first one.
I tried to give him something. Never mind.
The only match worth a damn that they ever put on it was Konosuke Takeshita versus Claudio Castagnoli for the ROH World Title.
You know what? I'll let it go. That's at least an acceptable TV match. This is really good. I'm not going to give them the last week because I don't get passes on awful things. But they did appear to recognize their mistake. Fucking Mariah has dropped the fake Tony Storm thing. She's just a psychopath. Yeah. Fucking people up. Using the moves. That works fine enough. And then Tony comes out. She looks so silly. I got to be honest. I'm not entirely sure if I can ever take Tony Storm seriously as she's in character. It's really hard to believe. I'm here for Mariah May not running away like a heel. Fuck that.
Yes.
I'm ready to fuck you up again. Let's go. It was fucking great. And then Tony's promo afterwards was really fun. This is solid. We're back on the plus side after last week's effort.
Last week was a misfire. I won't deny that. But this brought me back where I'm like, all right, I'm here. I'm in. Now both ladies are back on the show. I think we could get this really wrapped up in the next, 4 weeks before Allin.
What do you want from Tony? You gonna hear her emotions, her feelings, what the fuck just happened?
I think if we get one of her I think we need one of her pre-tapes. Her pre-tapes are the best stuff she does.
No, so.
I don't know. I'm like, I do want them to have a back and forth, but I also want them to have the vibes of it's on site.
Right.
They can't be in the ring together and have a natural promo exchange because Tony is done with the shit. You manipulated me. You played along with me. Now you're trying to take my spot. Nah, fuck that.
I'm with you. I'm here for it.
Frantic Rose thinks this was great. We also got I see the comment you responded to earlier. Yeah, we could do that. A classic Renee Paquette sit down interview, or like they do Tony Khan said they can't touch each other. They have to have this sit down interview pre-tape. I think that would go well. That would be a nice segment.
Yeah, I guess.
But in the ring, no, we can't do it in the ring promo exchange because it's on time.
Yeah, absolutely. Dion, yes, you're absolutely correct, by the way. Yes. Don't let them bully you. It's not a legacy award. We're not talking all-time shit. Right now, Jason Tatum's better than LeBron James. I'm not talking about all-time.
Takeshita is fucking killing it right now. Killing it right now in the G1. He just had the best match of the G1 this morning, so I can't say you're wrong, Dion. I can't say you're wrong.
Somebody else who's built like $1 million, along with Hobbs and Wardlow, can't seem to get a fucking push.
I have faith that Tony will pay attention to what they're doing in New Japan, and he will give them the push.
Oh, you know what? Maybe like a Willow situation. You took somebody else to love your girl before you decide to love them. Fair enough.
Yeah, it's basically the Keith Lee situation too, because Triple H wasn't pushing Keith Lee until Vince was like, "I love this man. I love this big man."
Big beefy man.
I'm gonna take him, all right? Oh,
And then Triple H was like, North American Championship, NXT
Vince was
Championship.
like, I'm still taking him. I'm not entirely sure what you thought that was going to accomplish. I'm still taking him. Oh.
And now he's a Bearcat.
Everybody involved got fucked. Oh. That's a shame.
Oh, man. Power Dark Finisher says he knows there are just extra episodes. He has to put more effort into pretending it's important. Talk about Battle of the Belts. Yeah.
Why not, though? Why
That was
not?
true.
I have another complaint. Now that I think about it. I'm sorry. And I'm a little concerned, by the way, because I worked myself through the logic of it. I'm a little concerned. You're not complaining about there's no main events, right? I always do.
Yeah.
Why are we not going to get Seth versus Priest? Since Priest lifted this ban on him. We should have got that before the pay-per-view. The only reason you wouldn't do it is because you're stingy on your main events. Way too fucking stingy. Or an even worse reason. Priest gonna keep this fucking belt. Oh my God! Please don't do this. Please don't do this. Please don't. I don't ask for much. Please don't do this. Save Berlin because he's from. No.
He earned it. He earned this. Apparently, he's gotten over. He's getting more over as world champion. I saw that thread. Someone made a thread of Damian Priest's crowd reaction from the beginning of his reign to now.
From the beginning of his reign till now. You could have did it from 2 weeks ago till now. It'd been the same fucking outcome. Gunther, you're welcome. You're welcome. Oh, God.
Oh, man, that's hilarious. Next up, it was time for Blood and Guts. We got a great video package for Blood and Guts with Dean Malenko narrating, placing this in the main event spot. And the first person into the Blood and Guts was none other than Jack Perry, the scapegoat. And, of course, on the Team AEW side was Darby Allin, 2 of the 4 pillars of AEW, going at it to start this one early. Jack chucks a chair that's a scapegoat at Allin through the cage door and powerbombed him against the cage itself to start. Perry set up the steps and used them to launch pad Darby into the crowd. Darby dumped garbage all over Perry before clotheslining him back to ringside. They're fighting all through the crowd and then fight back to the ringside area. They finally get into the ring where Perry leveled Allin with a trash can. He chucked him into freaking lawn darts him into a trash can in the corner and then punches the trash can onto Darby as he's on the apron. Darby starts to fight back when Nicholas Jackson is the next in for Team Elite. He comes in with a suitcase and a chair. Nicholas waved at the camera before hitting a slingshot assisted leg drop with Perry. Allin fought back off of a double suplex, but was launched into the cage by Nicholas. He hits a super kick, wedging Allin between the ring and the cage before we head to commercial break. Next in for Team AEW was Mark Briscoe, who came out to a really good pop from this Nashville crowd. He tackled Perry and cleared into the second ring. Nicholas tried to springboard in, but Briscoe was ready for a throw. He threw a ladder into the ring and hit a cannonball onto Nicholas with it. Next in for Team Elite was Matthew Jackson, who also came in with the briefcase. I took this picture specifically because Jimmy wanted to emphasize how Matthew came in and how Nicholas
you saw it, right? You saw it, right? Nice.
This is where I got the screenshot. He threw his brother and DDT'd Allin onto the briefcase. Briscoe repeatedly slammed into the steel cage. He's busted open in the process. Allin was powerbombed onto Briscoe in the corner before Matthew hit Secession Northern Lights as Perry was smacking Allin in the head with the briefcase. The Bucks hit a double team stomp powerbomb and a rolling backbreaker by Nicholas. Nicholas was on his shit early on in this matchup. And then the level of violence did not go up with Darby Allin starting off this matchup. Did not go up with Mark Briscoe coming into the matchup. The most unlikely of the baby faces brought the violence up a notch. Anthony Bowens comes in. He takes down all of the Elite until Nicholas chucks the briefcase at his face. Briscoe is crouched on the top rope as it looks like they're going for the TK driver, but Briscoe catches Nicholas with a cutter off the top rope. That was great timing on that one. Darby reverses Matthew and hits a Scorpion Death Drop. They then set up Matthew with his back exposed. Darby gets a freaking thumbtack skateboard and does a double stomp right into the back of Matthew, and you see the thumbtacks sticking out of his arm. Then Bowens gets a pair of literal scissors and starts to stab at Jack Perry's head. And then he tries to open his mouth with the scissors. That was great. I was like, come on, Anthony Bowens. At this point, I'm texting Jimmy. I'm like, you see, that's my boy. Shabani says this gives new meaning to the term scissor me. We get next, Kazuchika Okada is in, and he comes in with a Rainmaker drive sign. He does a tombstone onto Briscoe, onto the sign. He then tries to, looks like he's going for the Rainmaker, but he just hits a ripcord low blow and a drop kick with the chair right to Briscoe's face. It was all elite during this section of the matchup. We get Max Caster comes in with a microphone and he starts popping Okada and the Bucks with it. He then pulls out the chain. He hits Perry with a chair. Big time top rope chair shot from Caster to Okada until Caster threw a barbed wire board. The Acclaim wanted to suplex Okada onto the barbed wire board, but Okada's not taking any dangerous spots. Perry and Nicholas make the save. They hip toss Bowens into the board before body slamming Bowens onto the barbed wire board. They then sandwich him in the barbed wire boards, and Nicholas does a crazy looking swanton onto it, sandwiching freaking Bowens. We then get Okada, who pulls out, he has dumps a handful of thumbtacks and he puts it in Caster's mouth. They then deliver a double super kick after pumping up the Reeboks. At this point, the Elite is supposed to have their final man in, Hangman Adam Page. His music hits, but he never comes out. This allows Team AEW to fight back. Excalibur says that if Page doesn't show up, this match can officially begin. What's the point of this then? Bowens wrap barbed wire around his leg, and they do the scissor me timbers to Nicholas. At this point, the Team AEW's final member coming in is AEW World Champion Swerve Strickland, but he's immediately attacked from behind with a steel chair by Hangman Adam Page. I was like, this selfish nigga, I knew it. He's only going to come out when Swerve is in here. He sprints out, attacks him from behind. He has handcuffs, and he handcuffs Swerve to the steel cage. He then grabs the AEW World Champion, and he says, you should have never this. I will get through you. I will finish you. He is just incensed with getting back at Swerve Strickland. We get in the ring. Okada hits a rolling corner DVD onto the barbed wire boards on Briscoe. We get Page decking out Prince Nana. He screams at Swerve again that he doesn't deserve the AEW World Championship and he's going to eat him alive. At this point, Matthew Jackson gets on the mic and he says that Page is unresponsive to him. He tells him to listen to him. He says that he's already suspended him, and if he doesn't get in the ring, he will fire him. Page finally obliges. Ow. He gets into the ring. Matthew demands the door is locked as the EVPs make the referees announce that the match and Blood and Guts has officially started. We get a stare down between Page and Okada, who start shoving each other at the bell as Team AEW, minus Strickland, still handcuffed to the cage, is trying to fight back as we head to another commercial break. Jeff Jarrett tries to storm the ring with a guitar as Team TNA is trying to stop him. We get Brandon Cutler, who comes down to put a stop to Jarrett, helping out Swerve. But Daddy Ass shows up. He punches Cutler in the face, and then he gets the guitar shot from Jarrett, laying him out. We get Jarrett and Daddy Ass trying to free Swerve from the handcuffs. We get Prince Nana, who comes down with a pair of pliers. They finally free Swerve from the handcuffs, and they use the pliers to cut open the cage so Swerve can finally get in. And Swerve, oh my God, this dude was on fire in this fucking match. He goes off on Team Elite in ring one. He takes all of them out on his own, and then this crowd almost erupted when they met eyes of Swerve and Hangman, one of the greatest feuds of in AEW history. The crowd was palpable. They were just ready for these two to go at it. They meet in between the two rings and start slugging at one of each other. They're just going off on one another. Strickland dodges a buckshot lariat. He gets trapped between the barbed wire boards, though. Darby flies in and hits a code red on Hangman. Everyone is hitting big shots until Strickland stalks down Page in the corner. He's got a staple gun, a callback to their legendary Texas death match at Full Gear. But Matthew Jackson hits a low blow on Swerve. They open up one of the briefcases to reveal multiple staple guns. Strickland is surrounded by the Elite. This shit was the moment of the fucking match for me, Jimmy. The Elite fucking jump staple gun Swerve. And he's like, he gets beaten down, get hit with all the staples on his back, on his chest, and this nigga just laughs. He laughs and this crowd goes crazy. He starts laughing because he's a sicko who's about that life. Strickland just goes off with his own staple gun. He hits both Bucks with the staple gun. He does a backbreaker and hits Jack Perry in the chin with the staple gun. Okada attacks him from behind. He goes for the Rainmaker, but then tries to flip him off again. And Swerve hits him with the staple gun right in the finger. Page flies in. He tries for the buckshot lariat on Swerve. Swerve ducks and he hits Okada with the buckshot. Key moment there. Strickland then gets Page. He hits him. He grabs him from behind like a choke and staples him right in the chin. As Hangman is selling it, he then hits him with the house call. These two start fighting out of the cage as we head to our last commercial break. They fall through tables off the stage during the commercial break. I had to watch the fight feed on the rewind to see what everything that happened here. They fly off the table and they're out of here completely. Meanwhile, you get the Bucks who are setting up multiple tables, 4 stacks of tables by the cage. You get Nicholas Jackson who's climbing up the truss. At this point, I freaking made a Drake diss, as Jimmy coined it, where I was like, oh, Nicholas Jackson about to take this bump. No, it is this fucking maniac Bowens who fights with Nicholas until Nicholas kicks him off, smashes his head into the steel, and he flies off into all 4 tables. Back inside, you got Briscoe, who's going crazy with Jay Drillers. He hits one Jay Driller on Okada. Hits a Jay Driller on Perry. Hits a Jay Driller on Matthew and Nicholas. Darby Allin sets up a table in between the rings, and then one in the second ring. You get Briscoe with the froggy bow on Matthew through the table between the rings, and then Darby with the other best moment of this matchup. This dude does like he's fucking in a jungle gym and climbs off the truss, then fucking flips off Jack Perry before hitting a death-defying coffin drop off the top of the roof onto Jack Perry that almost looked like it killed Darby at the same time. You get Max Caster, who's got a whole bunch of handcuffs. They start handcuffing the Elite to the cage, to the ring ropes. They basically put Perry up like he's Jesus on a cross against the cage wall, and they start nailing him with kendo stick shot. That doesn't work, as Perry wouldn't quit. Then Briscoe hits this nasty looking unprotected steel chair shot right to the head of Jack Perry like he's fucking Raven on the cross against Tommy Dreamer. Darby Allin's had enough of this shit. He pulls out a gas can and starts pouring it onto Jack. He then finally finds a lighter after some time. This kind of killed the moment a little bit. It took him a while to find the pour of the gas as well as the lighter. But he finally gets on the mic and he says that he will light his ass on fire if he doesn't quit. He then says he will light his ass on fire if he doesn't get a TNT title match at All In. Matthew says that he can have the title shot at All In, but Allin isn't satisfied. He says that they have to quit the matchup too, and Matthew Jackson wants to protect Jack Perry enough that he finally quits to give Team AEW the victory in blood and guts. The finish was a little bit of a letdown, quite a bit of a letdown, because I think that they should have just focused on them quitting. And then he says, I'm still going to light him on fire if you don't give me the TNT title shot. That's what he should have worried about, winning the matchup first and then being the arsonist who says, no, I also want an airplane to escape. That's, you get the money first. You get the money first and then the airplane, not the airplane first and then the money, Darby. You'll learn in the future. But Team AEW win this wild, crazy, violent, blood and guts matchup. For all the complaints I had about the build, and they were all legitimate, this was so much fun. This was violent, and this lived up to the stipulation with the build. If they would have had the build from last year and this match, I would say there's no question this is the best blood and guts match ever. And it was really elevated by the fact of Darby was going wild. Jack Perry had a good performance, but Hangman and Swerve, this rivalry is like Mount Rushmore in AEW history.
It certainly is. I think it. We'll get to that later. This was a really good match. On really good strong. It was a really fun match. I don't want to say good because it involves like parsing through it. I don't want to parse through it. I just want to look at it as the fucking psychotic mess it was supposed to be. I really enjoyed it. Swerve and Hangman in particular, as you mentioned, they just go together. I can't believe how well that works. It's fantastic. And I think it really, Swerve's already a main, well, he's not main man, but he's already a main eventer. Hangman, whenever he fights Swerve, he feels like a main eventer to me. It's just, I can't believe how much I enjoy them fighting. I thought I was over it, and then I was not. Not even a little bit.
You mentioned being upset that he didn't win the Owen for weeks, so I bet that brings a lot of joy to my heart that you said that.
Very good. Spot of the night. No disrespect to all the motherfuckers flying around, but it's Swerve with the staple gun. It's one of those sequences that didn't feel like a sequence. Well, it did. It felt like a sequence, but it was so smooth. It just worked. Everything they did was perfect, including Okada's. But who, even in this match, took the least effective, least violent, least whatever staple gun shot out of the rest on his finger. This motherfucker ain't this a bitch. He don't want to do nothing.
The greatest worker since Kevin Nash.
I was about to say Kevin Nash would be very proud. The paycheck's the same, whether I fly off this thing or not. Keep it up, sir. Yeah, anything fell flat. Like it fell flat on like all levels for me. Like if he sets him on fire, so what? Jack's been on fire before. He was fine. And then there's the part where you know he's not gonna get set on fire. That's not gonna happen. We're talking about the TNT Championship of all fucking things. Sorry, none of this means anything to me. And Allin, which is not even tomorrow. This week's from now. Who gives a fuck? I don't give a fuck about any of this. That aside, it didn't ruin the match for me. Match is still great. I don't know how I would have ended it. I don't think Jack Perry's important enough to end with him. Especially with Hangman.
It put over the fact that he wouldn't quit. I appreciate that it tried to put him over with the finish here. I like I said, I think if he would have got them to quit first, be focused on the matchup first, and then he's still like, I'm still gonna light him on fire, because we've seen that so many times. We saw that with this year with the I Quit matchup where Christian's about to get hit with the whatever the spike thing that that Copeland had, and he says I quit, but he still hits him with the low blow. So Darby should have been like, I'm still going to light him on fire, give him the title match. And then you should have had the Acclaimed be like, we won our title match that we earned too. Like, why is it only Darby that's getting? Why is it not the whole team getting their title shots?
That's also a good point. First of all, I don't want to start doing plot holes when it comes to this fucking story, because we can do that all fucking day. Big Man Dog's a good point. Like, why? How are you tough for one to get set on fire? It's not tough. You're just an idiot. And yeah, and Kim, why a TNT title shot? Why not a world title shot? How about this? If you want to do like in story, just based going off what happened, what's to stop them from saying fuck you? We didn't sign shit. No. And Tony Khan to come in to save the day, even though he hasn't saved the day at any other point in the fucking story. I'm sorry. They got to clean this shit up. I'm fucking sorry. This is ridiculous.
Yeah, That's fair. We got Annika who says, "Can we just change the ending to a submission, surrender, or no pinfalls? That's not War Games. I hate the fact that WWE lets it be a pinfall. I hate that shit so much.
So you don't book yourself into this situation. You got to set niggas on fire.
No, submission or surrender. But no one. I was like trying to think who on the babyface side could done a submission. Maybe Swerve. Swerve's won matches with submission, but not Briscoe. Darby, I think, has won a match with a submission, but
I just felt like there's a lot of narrative juice left on the table. I would love Hangman about to fuck up Swerve in some way. Then the match is given up before he can do it. Only because I would have liked that. It's like motherfucker. These bums.
Yeah. Do you think we're getting Hangman versus Okada out of this?
I've seen that a couple times. I don't know. Do you want to? I really enjoy heel Hangman. I don't even want him to work babyface for a match. That's how much
I honestly would think in the UK that Okada would be the babyface in that scenario.
Yeah, probably. Listen, I'm all for keeping people off pay-per-view if they have nothing to do. I'm sorry. I don't see it.
That's fair. We also got Big Man Dogs who says,
oh my God! Yeah, retire as EVPs or I'm setting this cocksucker on fire. How about that? How about that?
That would have been the best stakes. That would have been the best stakes. If you're gonna add stakes at the last moment of the matchup, then that would have been the one.
Oh, God damn it.
If I'm Matthew, I would have been like, set him on fire.
Oh, that'd been great. Nick says set him on fire because he's the bad one. The man's like, oh, no.
No. That would take too much paperwork. Oh man. But yeah, I think that's the only thing like bell to bell could have been better was the finish. Because this lived up to the blood and guts mantra. This was just ridiculous, over the top violence. And we had a couple of great performances. Like I said, I really felt like the highlight of it was the Swerve Hangman story, but I felt Darby and Jack, they both went at it and put their bodies on the line throughout. And like I said throughout the description of that matchup, Anthony Bowens is the person who impressed me the most. I thought Briscoe was just he thrives in this type of scenario. He was great as well, but Bowens was the person who gave me what I didn't expect from his performance.
I think it might be time to have a serious conversation about fucking splitting this group, splitting this tag team, brother.
1,000%.
And Max hasn't really changed since he's gotten there. Sorry. He's having a dickhead on fucking Twitter, so fuck him.
Oh man, Louisville says been conditioned to bad stories being fixed by a good video package and a hell of a match. Yeah. I mean, for some people, if you don't do what we do, where we have to look at it closely and analyze it, then I can understand if you're like, oh, this feud worked out well. It ended with a great match and had a good video package, and now we're gonna see the big title matches at Allin at the biggest show of the year. So worked out well, right? No flaws here. But my big question is, what does the Elite do now? They lost the big matchup. Like, are we still gonna have the EVPs asserting their power?
Why not?
So I know.
What changed? Come on. Like, this is what I'm saying. At a certain point, you got to shit or get off the pot. And I gotta be honest, that was probably 2 pay-per-views ago. This is ridiculous.
Yeah. You could retcon it and be like, oh, there was a clause in the contract that said that you guys have to listen to Christopher Daniels and Tony Khan.
Yeah, sure. They won't. They didn't see the issue.
They won't do it. They don't see the issue. We got Big Man Dodds who says it would have been interesting if they told him to set Perry on fire and then Perry had to quit, which could set up friction.
Ooh, that is the proper way to write that. Fucking retires EVPs. Nah. Perry's like, all right, never mind. I quit.
All right, I quit. I quit, niggas. Damn. We also got King Potato who agrees with you. Says split the Acclaimed and put Caster on ROH so everyone forgets he exists.
And it won't take long. I'm sorry. Outside of his raps, he's not very memorable.
No.
I've had one great match with fucking Swerve and Keith Lee, and that's been about it. Sorry.
Hey, they were over because of that. That one match got them over for a year and a half. And then it came into 2024.
Yeah, let's move on. Yeah, it was a nice moment. Let's move on. Please.
Power Driver Finisher says for the regulars, it's about the week in, week out, not just the big matches.
Yeah. That's what I say every week. I'm here every week. Why don't I get a main event every week? Why do we gotta wait for me to pay $70 on my fucking pay-per-view cost to watch this fucking shit?
We got Frantic World, who's actually me, but I'll ask you as well. He says, SB3, what your thoughts on what Corey said about the chair shot? Corey said nothing wrong. Corey Graves had a successful rising in-ring career until brain damage caused him to have to retire before he was ever able to get called up to the main roster. That was actually a good faith take. It wasn't a WWE guy trying to shit on AEW violence. He said nothing wrong. I don't think he should have even deleted the tweet. I think he should have stood 10 toes down, because if that's what you believe, that's what you believe. But I also am of the thought that these guys are going to do what they want to do. This is their body. They can do what they want to do. I heard the chair was gimmick, but what Corey said was nothing wrong, and it's bullshit that some fans want to come at him in a certain way because of what he said. And this is coming from someone that has been on record multiple times. I don't enjoy Corey Graves as an announcer, but I did enjoy him as a character wrestler, and brain damage was the reason he wasn't able to achieve more. So I understand where he's coming from. What do you think?
I forgot who it was. First of all, perfect take on your part. Brain damage or something like that. I forget his fucking name. He was just like, I guess you don't know a gimmick chair when you see it. These niggas who talk to these keyboard ass niggas who talk to wrestlers like they are somebody is wild to me. It is wild. Corey said nothing wrong. Even if the chair was gimmicked and he didn't know it, the take is fine. And first of all, I love how it's a gimmick chair. It's your head, you fucking dope. If I beat you with a pillow enough times, you'll drop. It's insane. But hey, it's Jack's head. Feel free. Gimmick chair.
Yeah, that's what I said. If a wrestler wants to be stupid and wants to do that, even if it's like I saw somebody said like the gimmick chair is like a cookie sheet. Yeah, man, the cookie sheet can hurt too. Like I don't know what to tell you. Like, and we've literally seen in AEW the gimmick chair with Shawn Spears and Cody Rhodes in year one when Cody's head got split open with the gimmick chair. Like gimmick chair don't mean that it's there's going to be no ill effects to them.
It's fucking stupid. Yeah, look at you know it's. There's nothing in that fucking head. Fuck it. Go to work. But hey, right. Don't you want?
And also, Corey Graves was actually like people. Oh, he's criticizing AEW. No, it actually proves his whole tweet proved that he was watching AEW. Like
he came up the next day.
Yeah, and it wasn't the next day. It was literally like moments after it. Even before most grifters were putting the highlight on social media, he had put that tweet out. Like he was watching it live, and he was probably into the violence until that part. That part was when he was like, "All right, I got to say something about this."
Yeah, all right. I don't say. I really don't. I hate Twitter.
It's a bad place. It's a bad place. Big Man Does says AEW gimmick chairs are a gimmick to cause more damage.
to wrestle.
And we also got Ace who says, don't forget who helped the Acclaim become AEW Tag Team Champions back in 2022. What, Daddy Ass?
Us?
Yeah. New York.
Yeah.
They wanted that Grand Slam. We were the reason why, unfortunately. But, man, push Bowens, man. Push Bowens. Give me more Mark Briscoe in big times. And I want Mark Briscoe to lose the Ring of Honor World title after this matchup because I want him more on AEW.
God damn. Just get rid of ROH. I saw a friend of the world talking about and ROH is involved in the negotiation, so maybe we'll get ROH being involved in negotiations is why we haven't got it done yet. The executives don't know what the fuck he's babbling about. Leave me alone. Why can't you just sign this fucking thing? I don't know what you're talking about.
What does that exist? They're like, what? What are you talking about?
What are you
Yeah,
talking
this is
about?
the comment from Frantic Royalty. Says Tony Khan said on the ROH Death of Word Dishonor media call that ROH is part of the TV deal talks, so we might see ROH on TBS or TNT. No, we will not. At best, they will put it on Max.
I'm telling you, this deal is done. This deal is done. Outside of that, you're like, with $600 million for AEW. He's like, how about 800 for AEW? And no, nigga, stop bringing this shit up. You keep bringing it up every time. No.
They said it's in like the middle to high number as far as where they were at. So I would think that it's above 600 million.
Let's call it 725.
I can see that. 725 to 800 mil. I can see.
If that's the deal, you fucking take it. I know you want to say $1 billion so you can fucking put up all the things. And
Nah, you take that shit. You take that shit and run. Your AEW would be profitable with that with 800.
Yeah, call it a win.
Yeah.
The fucking what you call it's gonna make fun of you. So what? Who cares? Crying over $725 million. I thought he said it was gonna be for $1 billion. Who cares?
He thought it was gonna say for $1 billion.
Just sign the fucking thing and move on with your life. Before
we didn't even talk about the great ratings week that they had last week. You were like astonished by that number for the MJF Ospreay. That was like the first time in AEW history. It was a fucking straight line.
Yes. Huh? MJF. I told you. 9 stars in wrestling, and MJF is one of them. All you motherfuckers, my friend included, try to put other people next to him. There's nobody next to him. Your name is not Kenny Omega. You're not next to me, little nigga. I'm sorry. You're either Kenny Omega or you work for the other place. Otherwise, you're not next to me. I'm sorry. No disrespect. Who's ahead of him? I don't think there's even
He also said the fucking Kendrick line. He's like, "Ain't no big three." He watches the Ramble. He said, "It ain't no big three. It's just Big Me."
I love Becky, but I don't do Becky like that. I'll do Becky too. Roman, Cody, Punk, and Becky. Otherwise, don't speak to me. You're not in the same ratings bracket, good buddy. Don't come at me. I'm sorry. No disrespect. Oh, poor. I go back to the negotiate table. I would. As soon as they sign that $700 million deal, I'm gonna need my cut. I'm gonna need my cut of that, good buddy. Before taxes, I'm gonna need my cut. I'm sorry.
Hand that over. How do you think they're gonna do against the Biden speech last night? I was scared that they would be back below 700 because of the Biden speech.
It's entirely possible. 700 is going to be my guess because you got MJF early, so you're not getting the Big Bang lead in. I mean, you are, but it's not going to count because people are going to be watching that motherfucker. And MJF is first 15 minutes. How long did Biden talk? 20 minutes?
I think it was 20, 30 minutes.
Yeah, 700.
I can see some. I think if it's 700, it's only because people came back for Blood and Guts.
Oh yeah, and I'm not sure they did. Swerve has been a big ratings draw, but Blood and Guts has been all right.
Yeah, Blood and Guts has always been a pretty good draw for them. I'm interested to see what they're going to do next week because they didn't really advertise, and this is the first time in this month, pretty much. And this month of July has been arguably their best month of the year Like, not as far as like ratings over there, but as far as quality, I think this month has been one of their better months.
Agreed. It's been rather solid. I thought.
But yes, we shall see what goes down. That's going to come out in about an hour from now. But thank you so much for joining us, guys. Remember, final call for Super Chat donations. And you know what time it is. It is time for us to give you our match of the night, our MVP, our LVP. Out of 10, what did we give the show? Thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs in the middle. You can do the same in the live chat. If you are joining us live, if you're watching us on demand, let us know in the comments down below. But for me and Jimmy, for AEW Dynamite Blood and Guts 2024, thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs in the middle in 3, 2, 1. Thumbs up across the board from both of us. Jimmy, out of 10, what did you give the show?
I'm gonna go with 7.5. Love the open, love the close. I liked Mariah and Tony. Everything else you can throw in fucking garbage. Except Willow. Whenever it's garbage, you know what I mean. I'm going with 7.5.
I'm going to go with an 8 out of 10. I really enjoyed Blood and Guts. I enjoyed the opening with MJF and Ospreay. I even enjoyed Jericho and Suzuki. Probably the most interested I've been in a Suzuki match on U.S. soil in a long time. And like you said, Mariah and Toni Storm, they tore it up. Like Jeff Jarrett, the elder statesman with Bryan Danielson. Like the promo with Team AEW earlier in the night. And yeah. And I even enjoyed Britt and Sheeta, despite you were right that Sheeta did look like Ace Ventura rolling around under at certain points. And I like Camille's introduction and her pairing with Mercedes Moné as well. So an 8 out of 10 for me. Jimmy, match of the night?
Blood and Guts. Only good match on the show.
Blood and Guts by like a country motto. Blood and Guts was the match of the night for sure. MVP for the show.
I'm gonna go with Swerve. Swerve seems to start that fucking Blood and Guts match. But Hangman's good too. You know what? Call MVP.
I agree with you. It was Hangman and Swerve. Their rivalry elevated this splitting. If you don't have Swerve and Hangman in this matchup, I don't think I'm as high on this matchup without those two. They had the highlight of the matchup, whether it was stare down, whether it's the attack on the outside, the staple gun spot. That was ridiculous. So they are my MVPs for the show. LVP for the show, Jimmy.
Wait. I'm gonna go with Marvez. Oh, all right. That's enough.
I'm gonna have to go with I'll go with Max Caster. I'm sorry, like he's like I feel like everyone played their role well, but like if Caster wasn't in this, if I didn't watch it and you told me that Caster wasn't in it, I would have believed you because like he contributed nothing. I felt like everybody played their role well. Everybody on the Elite. I expected Okada to take no dangerous bumps, and he did that. The best worker in the game. And Perry took a whole bunch of risks and took a whole bunch of big bumps. The Young Bucks were the perfect douchebag heels, getting their comeuppance in the matchup. Hangman being selfish and setting up a potential matchup with Okada, and him and Hangman being him and Swerve being the MVPs of the whole entire matchup. Briscoe thrives in this scenario. Darby thrives in this scenario. Anthony Bowens seemed like he thrived in this scenario, but Caster did.
Time to move on. Sorry. Time to let go, Mario Jannetty. It's over.
We got Ace who says MVP Swerve and Hangman. We got Greg who agrees with me, says Max Caster. We got Frantic World who says Matthew Jackson and Max Caster.
Jackson? That because he gave up, or have you finally seen the light?
Yeah. No, because he gave
fucking
up. Most people say. LVP says Max Caster, says Ace. LVP Chris says Max Caster. Chuck Berry says Skateboard D is my MVP. Darby, if Darby would have completed the right steps of an arsonist, he would have been my MVP. If he would have been like quit first and then give me my title shot as extra, then he would have been the
what?
MVP.
I'm changing from Marvez. Sorry, you get it saved. I'm going with Taz. He made me sick through everything. Darby's climbing this fucking cage. This is an impossibly wild-looking spot. Impossibly dangerous. About to be impossibly violent. What does Taz say? You Jungle Jim Jones. Shut up. Shut up. Stop speaking for the rest of your fucking life. It's not funny. It's not cute. It's like an inside joke that the whole world is on. Shut up. Ugh. I hate his guts. I'm sorry.
The words and opinions of Jimmy Macram do not necessarily reflect those of True Heel Heat, its viewers, or affiliates.
He used to be amazing. I know some of you are not fucking old enough to remember. He used to be fantastic.
The SmackDown team of him and Cole were an all-timer. All-timer. I will give you.
I don't know what the fuck happened.
Skateboard Jones.
Ooh, secondary English commentary team? Yes, sold.
We're doing a Brian Last suggestion, but I'll read it. What if AEW adds a secondary English commentary feed with Excalibur, Taz, and Tony, just like the Spanish feed, and then the primary English feed can be good commentators?
Sold. I don't care who it is. Anybody. Sold. Fucking
just replace one of these motherfuckers with Nigel. That's all I ask. That's all I ask. Even Tony's fine if he's with Nigel. He's not fine when he's with these two fools.
Well, he's just gonna give you every once in a while. This is fantastic. Look how much fun this is. Shut up, sir. Fucking much. You're not supposed to be having fun. Somebody's getting stabbed. This is not fun. What a great match.
All right. Jimmy, that brings us to a close on another edition of AEWramble. You want to let the people know where they can follow you on social media?
Nope. See you guys once a week.
Hey, maybe twice a week for SummerSlam next week. Maybe.
It depends. It's like a betting card. I need a lot of things to happen. LA Knight's got to win. Gunther's got to win. I'm even okay if Braun loses if I get the other two. If I get the other two and Braun loses, I won't be happy, but I'll take it. That's the only one I'll take. Everybody else got to win. I'm not sold on Gunther. I ain't gonna lie to you. I was 99-1 2 weeks ago. Last week I was 70-30. I'm 50-50 at this point. I'm so concerned.
Does not seem like a safe bet at all, but we shall see. I will be back here on Sunday. So you got a couple of days off from me being live on this channel. I will be back on Sunday at 11:05 a.m. Eastern Time. The True Heel Heat flagship podcast. Myself, Miss Chrissy Love, and the True Jaw Josh talking about this week in professional wrestling. We'll be talking about Blood and Guts. We'll be talking about Lashley and MVP leaving WWE for possibly AEW. We don't know. We shall see. We'll talk about everything that goes down over the next week, as well as Ring of Honor, Death Before Dishonor, which is tomorrow night. We'll be talking about that on Sunday, so a lot to stay tuned for that. Until then, follow me on the Twitter machine at TrueHillSP3. I will be back on your YouTube channel the next 2 days, though, not here, but over on the Fightful main channel tonight with the Ring of Honor post show, as well as Ring of Honor, Death Before Dishonor post show over on the Fightful main channel. So join us live for that over there. But until then, drop the thumbs up on this video, share this video with all your wrestling fans, friends, and family, and hit the subscribe button for more. We'll have shorts and some other content for sure on the channel, so stay tuned for that. But for me and Jimmy, this has been AEWramble, episode 156, Blood, Guts, and Fire. We are signing off until next time. Later, y'all.